So this is a very, very impactful project. Why did you decide to do this in the first place?
Well, when I made this film 10 years ago in Portland, the crisis of housing was bad. Okay, there were noticeably downtown, as in a lot of urban areas, we see people who are unhoused. But that was the point where it was starting to really get much worse. And to today, where we're in this complete nightmare situation all over the West Coast with people who need to be in homes and can't afford them. And so I was thinking about that. I had recently seen the documentary Wasteland that I believe won an Oscar. Have you seen that? Love that film. And I was just so inspired by that film. And then a friend of mine said, hey, I'm working with a group of artists. We got a grant and we're going to teach filmmaking to people who don't have homes. And we're going to do this program over the course of a year. And I just said, that sounds amazing. And I want to come and document it. Can I do that? And so I talked my way in.
Awesome. Well, these subjects are all very charismatic. They're very, very entertaining to watch. For you, what was it like being with them throughout this process? Because they were very, they went through a very tough journey right there.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was transformative for them. It was, and maybe even more for me. Because I had done some volunteer work in the past, and I taught at community college, and I knew people who had really rough starts in life, or people who were coming back to school. And so I knew some stories, but what really struck me was how they're all from such different backgrounds, different areas of the country, different socioeconomic situations, and yet the common denominator being this childhood trauma. That's what it was about a few months in when I realized that's the common theme that we're seeing. And so I just was wondering how much healing, could they achieve, and how was it going to help them? And it really is amazing to see from the beginning to the end of the film where they are spiritually, like as far as their self-worth. So yeah, it was incredibly inspiring, and I'm still in touch with all of them. Sumaya is actually in Venice Beach now in public housing, and he is going to be at the premiere with me. So we'll be doing the Q&A together, and a lot of the folks who have helped her over the last couple of years down around LA are coming to the screening. So we're trying to get as many people in housing, mental health, social work, people that do art therapy. So we've been sending out invitations for the last 2 weeks nonstop. Yeah, so I hope a lot of people come out. We want to have a conversation, with the community about what kind of programs are happening now and what else might people do to, there's addressing the basic needs, food, water, shelter, and that's vital. But then there's also to really help people move forward with their lives, they have to regain their self-esteem. And I think all kinds of art are just amazingly powerful ways to get there.
What do you hope people get from watching this film?
Well, I hope a lot of things. I hope they get inspired to get involved in their community, to do something. A lot of people donate clothes and that's great, but what really was powerful about this filmmaking experiment with these folks was that it got these different communities together that would never actually have talked to one another otherwise. And I think that's a big problem in our country right now, because, you know, when that happens, people are transformed and learn this person is just like me. This person, you know, and they will be shocked at how much success some people had in life before they ended up living on the streets. And so, yeah, I would like to see different communities come together. And so, for example, in the film, they had a teaser screening at a really fancy art gallery in downtown Portland. So there were art professors from all the colleges there. There were artists, you know, big famous artists. And then we had Sumaya and David and John, and they're talking and moving in these different circles, and learning about one another is just crucial. I think we have to make that happen more in our society.
Definitely. I'm bringing this film to Dances with Films. You know, it's in Hollywood. It's at a Chinese theater. How do you hope that this brings to light to these big themes that this documentary takes on?
Could you say that one more time? How do I think it?
How do you hope that bringing it to Dances with Films helps the, I guess, bring to light these topics and have the conversation start?
Oh yeah, well, that's why I said we've been, you know, we got really involved in trying to connect with our audience. And so we're hoping that a lot of people from colleges that have art therapy programs, counseling programs, a lot of therapists, a lot of social workers, people who work with housing, that those folks will show up so we can sort of get the conversation started. And I am learning slowly about the politics of what's happening. And I have heard there is a lot of tension about whether the mayor's approach to helping people get into housing is the right way. So I think there's just so many things we could talk about around this topic. I mean, I'm going to try to keep it focused on what my film is talking about is uplifting people, repairing self-esteem, you know, giving people the confidence to go forward and start a new chapter in life. Not so much the basic needs, but so I'm going to try to keep us focused on that. But if people want to talk after the screening, we will have a place to go and meet up and do that as well. So yeah.
Awesome. And how do you feel being in Dances with Films? I mean, this is a huge festival.
It is. Every time I tell somebody it's at the Chinese theater, I can't say it without just getting this huge smile on my face, because I mean, for me, I love old theaters, and obviously that is one of the most famous in the world, and I've never been inside. So it's going to be mind-blowing. And I've been watching all the photos since the festival started, and yeah, a lot of people. I think the opportunity they're giving people like me who I don't have a big following of, you know, people who watch and I've tried for years. So, you know, I'm hoping that I just meet amazing people to work with, and, you know, we can support one another. And I really love their philosophy for this festival, which is, this is not about stars. It's not about, you know, who wins, who's getting awards. This is about, you know, celebrating true independent cinema and how we can help one another go to the next level.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on this. It's a fantastic watch.
Oh,
I really enjoyed it.
I really had a great time talking with you. And if you have any follow-up questions or anything, I'd be happy to talk some more. So the screening is at TCL Chinese Theaters. It's on Sunday, June 19th at 12:30 p.m. And the tickets are available on Dances with Films website.